We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug here, aka Farmer Finance. Recap video week. Would it be 8 through 11? The last 4 weeks we've been very busy on the farm. We got last crop of hay coming up this week, and got to get some stuff fixed and put away for winter, and head into corn silage in a couple weeks, and then combining corn and beans and tillage, and yeah, it's going to be a crazy couple months, but we snuck in a little bit of time here tonight to do a recap video for you guys. It's been beautiful. I mean, everything between farm, family, health, trading obviously has just been absolutely wonderful this year, and especially the last month has been great. God is good. My buddy, well, not my buddy, but my wannabe buddy, my brother in Christ, James Sprague, won the men's CrossFit 2026, so that was awesome. And then my favorite guy, actually, Justin Medeiros is my favorite guy. He finished fourth, which is really good. He's crazy to be like always getting up there in age, but in athletics he is. So to still finish fourth was pretty awesome for Justin. So congrats to both those guys. So back to trading though. For the 4 weeks that we haven't done a recap, if you watch the channel, you see every day on the shorts we're still uploading every day, because that only takes a couple minutes to do. So like I said, I just haven't had time to sit down and actually record a real video for you guys. But the daily shorts, they tell you everything that happens that day, and if you want to add it all up to see what we're at for the week, you can. But if you actually look in the post, under the post section of the channel, I've been making the weekly payments to the car loan as well. So if you don't want to do the math yourself, you can see that I did the math for you. So like I said, the last 4 weeks combined, we made $3,843.74. Our best week was week 8. We made a little over $1,400 and change. Week 9 we made $981 and change. Week 10 $859 and change, and last week was our lowest week, which is fine, $602 and change. Even if we do $602 every week, that's less than a year to pay off the whole loan. Let's see, the total so far through week 11, we have $8,449.15, and that is 29.64% of the total loan, plus the $3,500 that I use out of my own account for a down payment. So that's awesome. If we keep up at that weekly average pace, it's like 37.2 weeks, so 38 weeks. So if we got 11 weeks done and we stick at this pace for 38, that means we got 27 weeks left. So stick at this pace, crap, we're over a quarter of the way done, and yeah, it's awesome. And I don't see why we can't stick at this pace, barring something going crazy. It's been smooth sailing, and that's why we sell options, man. Selling options, you can be wrong. There's been some red days, but they haven't been red enough, and we haven't even had to roll anything. We've been making money without even having to roll strikes down, which is awesome. Like, it gets a little hairy when you got to roll, but it gives you the freedom to stay out of the money, and that's the name of the game, staying out of the money when you sell stuff. So we're just gonna keep going with what we're doing, selling spreads. Like I said in my last video, we're not like done selling cash secured puts. Like, I sold to SpaceX for their earnings. We made a easy $68, 67 and change. We were like 25% out of the money. It was just free money. I had to sell that, but I'm like I said, I'm keeping my capital. I got something that's coming up that I need to have my capital free. So right now I'm just making the 3.5% on the money market with that, and not going to risk anything on selling cash secured puts, because you could sell something, but on Palantir or something, and make some extra $20 here or there, but just in case, some news comes out and the stock drops 20%, and then you own it. Like, I'd have no problem owning those stocks long term, but like I said, I gotta have the money available for this future thing coming up here. So there's just no point of risking it. So we're just gonna keep selling the spreads every day. Anywhere from 2, 3, 4, usually 5 spreads, sometimes 6. If we get a real red day that we don't have to roll, then we'll load up 10 spreads for weigh out the money and just make it easy, 15-20 cents, like, guaranteed. Sorry, a lot of talking. I'm not used to talking this much. I work with cows, not people, so I don't have to talk. Yeah, no, it's been a wonderful time, and we got a couple of new subscribers. Like, shoot, we are up to 13 subscribers already. That's freaking awesome. I don't know how many of you will actually watch these videos, but you're following the journey on the shorts. I mean, that's how I would do it too. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, who's got time to sit there and watch the guy rambling on about stocks and his debt, when everybody's got their own problems and their own stuff that they got to deal with. But if you got the shorts, and you only got to waste a minute of your life watching the shorts, or even 30 seconds of the shorts, or even honestly, you can see how much I made by just, you don't even have to watch the short. You can just click on the channel and the shorts show how much I made. And yeah, but I mean, obviously I love that you guys have subscribed. That's super exciting. It's kind of crazy to think that like 13 people care enough to subscribe to see what's happening to little old Doug here. But yeah, no, it's awesome, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for subscribing. It's awesome, and hopefully we can continue to get more. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you right away. It shows up on my phone if I get a comment. So yeah, as long as there's not too many subscribers, or even if you're not a subscriber and you want to leave a comment, go ahead. It's I'm not big where I got a million comments and I won't be able to respond to you. I'll be able to respond to you. Yeah, if you got any questions, like I said, none of this is officially financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only, but this is how I make a little extra money besides my full-time job as a dairy farmer. Yeah, so other than that, let's see, we got CPI, PPI this week. I think it's gonna come in light, but I think CPI is coming in light. PPI core would be my only concern. I think that could be a smidge heavy, but regardless, I think we just ran, like, if you look back this last week, just green. I think it ended up being like 2.5 or 3.5. It was either 2.5 or 3.5% green total for the week, which is an insane move for the S&P 500. So I personally think they're going to use CPI and PPI to sell off. Not like anything crazy. I think we're just going to get that pullback that I was hoping we'd get that pullback like Thursday or Friday with the jobs report on Friday. I was really hoping we could get that pullback, but that didn't happen. But I think we're going to get that pullback to, what was it? I had looked at the chart earlier today. 7,600 or 7,580, somewhere in there. Basically a halfback trade is kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a pullback, 150 points maybe. I can't remember what we closed at. 100 to 150 points is what I'm looking for, a pullback just for the next leg higher. We ramped up so much this past week that you just need that pullback. It's the mechanics of the market. This is the mechanics of the market. You need the pullback. It's not you'll be like, people will be like, oh my god, the S&P 500 is down a percentage point. Like that's good. Like we want that for vol, for selling options, but B, that's healthy after this last week. If we can get that nice pullback, 1.5% over a couple days, that would be amazing. And I think that's going to be the springboard up to 8,000. I do believe we will hit 8,000 this year. I also do believe that the economy is in a recession, but we have to understand that the stock market and the economy, two different things. I think there will be, you hear Michael Burry, blah, 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 stuff's overvalued, stuff's going to crash, all that, all that stuff. He's right. We will have a crash, but that crash to me won't be like 8,000 on SPX is like the bare minimum before we hit any sort of correction. And you got to think about it like this. Here's how you got to think about it. The rich people, the super rich, they have their money in the stock market. The S&P 500 has a little over doubled since COVID. I think it was like, SPX was like 3,500, I think, somewhere in there, and now we're at 7,700, 7,800, somewhere in there. So that's a little over doubled. But guess what else has doubled since COVID? Everything. So your buying power hasn't changed for those, ultra rich people that like have everything in the stock market. Like, they're multi millionaire, billionaires, at least 8 figures, 9-figure people, 10 figures. And so that 8,000's nothing. Like, I know it's crazy to be like, oh my God, like we're already at SPX 8,000, like it's just ramped up, but everything's ramped up. Like, so like net, we're pretty freaking flat for the last 5 years, slightly up. So if they're going to sell that market and sell it off as a little mini reset, like they always do, like they did in 2000, 2001, they did it in 08, they did 18, and 18 was a mini one, 22, COVID, I don't even count. That was such an easy buying opportunity. I mean, anybody who sold there was honestly, anything in the anything since COVID's just been 22 was about the only hard year to really gauge everything. But you had the tariff the tariff tantrum in 18, Q4 of 18. That was a pretty strong sell-off that lasted, but that one, I didn't get burnt by that one. A lot of people did. COVID was got the easiest frickin' buy. I actually, I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money on that COVID trade. 2022 was harder, but it was easy to start seeing the bottom on that one. And then the frickin' tariff tantrum in 20, there's so many of these little mini crashes, end of the world crap that's actually not. They're all buying opportunities, but I do think we will see something worse than 22 coming up. But to me, I still think it's at minimum 2 years away. If the socialists still get a lot of traction over the next couple of years, and if we get a DSA president, then we're done. Then the stock market's done. Honestly, at that point, take all your money out, put it in cash, because you're gonna lose freaking half of it. But assuming the people in this country are smart and can read a history book and understand that the DSA and their candidates are just communists, and communists have never worked. Communism has never worked, and it never will work. It's actually physically impossible for communism to work, if you actually think about it. But as long as this country realizes that, which I think it will, and we get a normal, whether it's JD Vance or even freaking give me Fetterman, man, give me, I'll take Fetterman. And there's a couple Democrats I wouldn't like, but like as long as they're not commies, they'll be okay. But the stock market, like honestly, I think we get up to like freaking 10, 11,000 before we see anything that Mike Burry predicts big crash, blah blah blah, all that crap. Like we'll get one, but so like think about it this way: stock market crashes 50%. If we're at SPX 8,000 and you go 50%, we're down to SPX 4,000. And we are basically where we were with COVID. If you can get, so that we're basically, it's a lost decade. If we can get in the next couple of years up to SPX 10,000, which ain't even that crazy. Think about it. If we end, let's just say we end at 8,000 this year, and then you go 10% of that, so then you're at 8,800, and then you go 10% of that, you're at 96 and change. So that's just 10%. That's nothing for the stock market. We can do 12, you do 12%, 13%, 2 straight years, 27, 28, 2 straight years. You're at 10K easy. So then you take 10K and you take a 50% hit. Now you're at 5K. Well, now you're at least still up 20% from COVID. Or you get up to 11 or 12K, you go up to 12K, you take a 50% haircut off of 12K, then you're still at 6K. Well, then you're basically where you were, you're a 40% gain over COVID. So you still had a decent decade. You reset all the destruction of the middle class. The K-shaped economy is real. And the last venture to ruin the middle class is to crash the stock market. And it will happen. It's just a matter of when. But so, like I said, I don't think it's going to happen for a while. I still think we got a long ways to go. I think we got a couple years left. I think it's gonna be great for the stock market. And yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts from a million miles up. Just not super in depth, but that's kind of how I think it's going to play out over the next handful of years. And heck, it might even be 2035 before we see anything. And we could be SPX 20K, and then we could cut that in half and be down to SPX 10K. So just how I look at it is I'm 36, so every week I buy in my long-term account. I don't care what the price is. I buy S&P 500, I buy Bitcoin, and I buy SCHD. So I'm 36. I don't plan on retiring for a long time. A lot of my retirement accounts I can't even get in for 23 years. So honestly, say we go 5 years, we go up to 12K on SPX, and then we crash, we cut it in half. It doesn't matter. I can't get to it. So I'm just going to keep investing every day or every week, and because I know I'm 36, so 60 is 59 and a half, whatever. So 23 years from now, when I can quote unquote access it, my IRA, we're going to be higher than we are now. So, and if America fails, it doesn't matter anyway. So it doesn't matter if it crashed or not. So, but yeah, so we're gonna heading into this week, we'll play it a little. I think we're gonna go aggressive here on Monday, because Tuesday's a nothing burger, and then Tuesday for Wednesday spread, we're gonna play it safe, see what CPI does, and we're gonna play the reaction to it. Hopefully we get a red day, then we can actually sell for extra premium heading into Thursday. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful week. God is great, and have a blessed time, and we'll see you hopefully in a couple weeks. I won't let it get more than 4 weeks. How about that? All right, have a good one, guys. We'll see you.